What's up, everybody? Just taking a look at Nioh 2 beta gameplay. I wanted to share some of my captures, and don't worry, no spoilers here. This is just the first level, and well, the first mission, I'll say. Trying out some of the different weapons and figuring out the new mechanics of the game. And a lot of it, as you might imagine, it carries over from Nioh 1. But there are quite a few differences. And one thing that I really like is that well, they kept the human enemies so far that I can tell, but the yokai are all completely different moves, which is really neat. Here's this giant gorilla dude, Enki, and when you defeat him, he usually drops a soul core. I'll explain what that does in a minute after I actually take him down. So right now I've got this NPC with me that you'll pick up halfway through the level for this section, and I guess I'm just de-aggroing some of those characters and then coming back. Horrible aim with the arrow. But there's a soul core. The Gaki soul core just dropped. So the thing about the soul cores is I had no idea what those were at first. And then once you get back to the shrine, you can equip them through the Guardian Spirit menu system. And you'll definitely want to do that. It basically, in the most simplest terms, is like in Mega Man fashion, old school, defeat an enemy, gain some of their power, and when you equip the soul core of defeated yokai, you basically just equip one of their moves into your living weapon set, which is basically how I understand it. So I think you don't have to be transformed. I'm not sure if you have to be transformed to use it. I can't remember because it's all very new. Or if you can, I think you can use it without being transformed. Don't quote me on that. But I think because it's kind of like there are corruption zones where you kind of half turn into yokai, and that's when, typically I would use the soul core function because, I kind of save it for when you need it. And yeah, when that happens and you're in those corrupt zones, it's just like, it's maybe a little bit less than standing in a yokai puddle, but it's basically the same effect, is that your ki recovers much slower than normal, and you're basically having to kind of be real dodgy with your moves in order to get some of your ki back during those corrupt zones. I'm pretty sure that we'll see one here in a short bit. So here's where you see the soul cores that you just picked up, and you can equip. There's a little video of how what kind of move you're granted with that ability. But basically, grinding in the early game is really easy so far. You can get skill points, almost every few minutes with minimal effort, which is pretty cool. And I always employ like a all-around strategy of just, I don't really necessarily see the benefit in enhancing one category over others. I just kind of try to keep them more or less level and not fall behind too much. So one thing that I think makes this game a whole hell of a lot easier than the first one is that you have this ability to summon benevolent revenants, or I think they're still just AI. They're AI based off of actual players that come in and assist you. And see here, I know I'm gonna die because I forgot to take out the archers. I thought I had, because I had just gone through that, but as soon as you pray at the shrine, they return, and I forgot. So like, so I know I'm gonna have some difficulty and probably have to redo this one here shortly. But this is a corrupted zone, like I was saying before, where you're like half yokai, half human, and I really think it's creative, like what they've done. I'm not a huge fan of some of these strange-looking yokai, like that one. It is kind of weird with all those heads and stuff. Looks like something out of Bloodborne or something like that. But the corrupt zones are really interesting in that, I think graphically they're beautiful. And they add a whole new challenge aspect to the game. So I know a lot of people were complaining that from what they saw, that Nioh 2 is just more of the same, basically saying it's more of Nioh 1. Well, I gotta disagree with you there. Sure, they kept in a lot of the same stuff from the last game because a lot of it was good. Having 5 different weapons in the first game to choose from is pretty good to begin with. So I'm glad that they chose to keep those. I was worried that, it was just gonna be new weapons. But I guess, you can't really be a samurai game without dual swords or some of those, like the Surigama is just really straight up ninja weapon, So they're not going to get rid of those, what worked in the last game, which is great. But they did add the switch glaive, and it's cool. It's definitely hard to fight against. When you summon some other revenants, I don't like the revenants that have the switch glaive because they're tough. So it's a good new powerful weapon. The dual hatchets is pretty cool too. I think a lot of people will favor those just because they're new. So now I took out the archers and I'm ready to tackle this corrupt zone. And these guys are no problem. They're like basically just corrupt, half yokai, half human soldiers, but they go down real easy. But yeah, this other like 5-headed dude out of Bloodborne or whatever, this is the first time I'm tackling him. And I think he's ugly as sin. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm checking out the area, grabbed some Kodama. I really love the aspect of Kodama in the game, and they definitely took that and enhanced it by creating a new kind of Kodama in the game, which I haven't yet figured out how the story progresses with these characters, but you can greet them, and apparently, they take some kind of specific item that I haven't found yet. But yeah, these new yokai have really strange movesets. So having the extra help, the NPCs there to take some of the brunt of the battle can really help you as a beginner. I just remember, going through the first Nioh offline, and I had to do everything myself, so it seemed a lot more difficult, and it was tons of fun, but extremely difficult, as I never summoned anybody the whole time. So that ends this NPC's little mission. The storyline for him is over, and it's funny how he comments. How he comments about her in the steam bath. So he just warns you that don't go into the forest unless you want to get a mauling. So that's basically your hint that something big is coming. And I don't actually go through the boss in this playthrough, but maybe in my next video I'll show some of that fight, because there's just a little bit more left to go through. Basically the same part of the opening of this level. It just looks like almost identical, although it's a little different. It's totally full with yokai instead of humans. I guess it's another area, but it just, the foliage, the stuff looks a lot similar, and I think you can even get back to the first part of the opening sequence with going to some area around here. But there is a new corruption zone and a couple of tough yokai to take out. So I always fight revenants because I like just the combat in the game. It's fun, especially if you've got an NPC helping you out. It's like almost a guaranteed win, and you can just collect items and Emerita and things like that. So this is going to be a really great game. I'm very much looking forward to Nioh 2. I think it's going to be a real win, and I'll play the hell out of it. This beta demo is really long, which is why I think they probably put a limited time on it, because I don't know, they still want to keep some surprises, leave you on a cliffhanger a little bit. But it's going to be good. Definitely going to be on my buy list for 2020 March. It's around my birthday anyway, so really looking forward to that. And I just wanted to give you a little peek into the first level of the Nioh 2 beta, whether you play it or not. It is only available for a limited time, so check it out, download it while you can. I think until the 9th. Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe, hit the like button. Peace out.